Kahalayim La Yahweh Ahashem Yahweh Shai Wahawah Kakadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect to those apostles, elders, and men of great millstone, of like-mindedness, out here on the highways, byways, and hedges, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. To you I say shalom. It's your brother Amraya, and I'm back with a mission on this one. What you're about to look at is our future. Though the video is a little bit older, the subject matter is very much important as we are in these last days. Out here on the highways, byways, and hedges, bidding you 12 tribes and you speckled birds to the marriage. I would like to begin here before the video, 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 37. Therefore write all these things that you have seen in a book, and hide them, and teach them to the wise of the people, whose hearts you know may comprehend and keep these secrets. Our mission is to find the wise of the people and teach them these secrets to help them comprehend. The secret we are revealing today is in Revelations chapter 13, 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And we know that to be 666. Verse 16 says, he causeth all. And that's simply saying to you that may not understand, he is mandating, he is forcefully causing, he is without a doubt not giving a choice. Both small and great, it doesn't matter whether you are a senator, a president, a king or a queen, or a peasant, a homeless person, a regular gas station attendant. It doesn't matter, great or small, rich or poor, free and bond, whether you be out here in civilized world or locked up behind bars in a prison system, you're going to receive a mark in your right hand or in your foreheads that you cannot buy or sell unless you have that mark. Let's watch the video.
Concerns have been raised after the country's Prime Minister proposed a controversial measure to track children's social distancing by microchipping them.
I spoke with our heads of technology in order to find measures Israel is good at, such as sensors. For instance, every person, every kid, I want it on kids first, would have a sensor that would sound an alarm when you get too close, like the ones on cars.
Well, the Prime Minister's proposal received a barrage of criticism, especially from cybersecurity experts. Many of them questioned the legality of chipping people. The head of cyber studies at Tel Aviv Academic College, Tal Pavel, believes that it will allow criminals, including kidnappers and paedophiles, to track children.
This initiative, it might be kind of roadmap to disaster. It can harm kids from a wide range of aspects. Since the information of the physical presence, the geolocation of the kids will be on the net, it won't be to be able to hack and to breach those kind of geolocation. It can be cyber criminals or criminal to kidnap those kids. It can be pedophiles. It can be also terrorists. Because if I know a target, I can track his children, I can harm his children. The consequences may be, as far as I see it, very dangerous.
Well, the government countered that criticism, claiming that no information will be kept on databases and the technology is just designed to keep kids at a safe distance from each other. It claimed no privacy laws would be violated and the chips would be optional. But Tal Pavel again believes that it could quickly become mandatory.
It may be voluntary today and it may be mandatory tomorrow. So it may be voluntary today and it may be mandatory tomorrow. So it may be voluntary today and it may be mandatory tomorrow. So once again, when you open the door and someone enter the door and suggest that it will be voluntary today, it may be mandatory tomorrow, and the consequences may be harmful.
James chapter 1 verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. In the times that are coming, with them implementing this new system where if you don't have the jab, you can't participate, it is going to try your faith. It's going to put you in diverse temptations. So I want to remind you, brethren out here that may happen to hear my voice. Verse 5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yahweh. And why? Because a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Now, if you're down for this truth, you have to stick with it until the end, Yasha Allah. There will be no jumping ships. There will be no switching sides and it be beneficial to you in some kind of way. We're going to skip on down. Verse 21 is where we're going to finish this particular set of scriptures out. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness. And you need to look these terms up, Yashala. That is your assignment. And receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and go his way, and straightway forget of what manner of man he was. And I'm gonna sum that up with a worldly proverb. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Let's finish the video.
Control grid's an interesting thing. A lot of people don't realise what they're involved in. Just the simple fact of using credit cards, using smartphones, and all of this automated system is the problem. People don't realise what it is. This system we're being led into is the New World Order in itself. The 5G smart grid is the New World Order, the Internet of Things. It's the New World Order. People don't really understand how that works, but what it's about is monitoring every single aspect of your life. The smart grid is being presented to people as this thing that's going to be highly beneficial to us. You know, you'll only be using the electricity that you use, you'll only be paying for that, all this sort of stuff. So it's been presented as a really positive thing. But what it will do, it will put a dollar value on absolutely every aspect of your life. So that every time you turn on a tap, the credit goes. Every time you turn on a light, every time you watch your TV, every time you boil your jug, every time you do anything, there's a dollar value attached to it. There's an interesting TV show that came out a couple of years ago called Black Mirror, and they had one episode of that where everybody, the only job they had was running on a treadmill or spinning a bike and just to accumulate credits, and they had to pay for every single action that they performed. And that's what the smart grid is. That's what we're being led into. And it's all about digital currency and control of everything. And if you're someone who lives a slightly alternate lifestyle, say you grow a few vegetables and you give some to your neighbours, or you do a little bit of massage for someone, or you do a bit of tarot reading or something like this, the only way you're going to be able to get paid for that once the smart grid comes online is through the transfer of digital credits, which means the government will get a tax. You'll have to put it on your income tax, or everything will be monitored. That's what it's about, complete blanket surveillance of every single action people are doing. That's what the smart grid is. And it's being rolled out underneath everything else while we're arguing about all of these issues and being given all of these global conflicts and all of this theatre of politics to fight and squabble about. Underneath all of that is this smart grid. And it's rolling out very, very quickly. And the smart grid, the 5G grid, underlying that is the fact that the 5G system that they're using to run the smart grid, the Internet of Things, is also being used by the military. It's a military-grade technology. It's basically an active denial system. So the 5G grid not only will track everything you do, it can be used as a weapon. It can be used as a microwave cannon. It can be used to disable people, to track people. It can see through walls. It can see what you're carrying, whether you're carrying money, whether you're carrying a weapon, all of this sort of stuff. So it's very, very evasive. Plus it does all sorts of damage to us biologically. You know, it damages our cell structure, damages the cell structure of all food, changes the cell structure of everything that it comes into contact with. And the 5G system will be a blanket system, blanket wave of communication. You know, we've got situations now where you lose signal on your mobile phone if you move too far away from a tower. That won't happen with the 5G. It will be everywhere, right across the country, in rural areas, everywhere you'll be able to get perfect signal. So everyone's going to kind of welcome this, but they don't realise what it is. It's about everything talking to everything else and everything tracking everything else. And also with the smart grid, it turns virtually every smart appliance into a surveillance system. There's been a new law passed in Australia where police have just been given the permission to tune into smart devices and listen to what's going on in people's homes. They can tune into your refrigerator. A lot of people don't realise your smart fridge has a microphone. They can tune in and listen to the conversations you're having in your kitchen. So anybody who's targeted for any reason at all, if they've got suspicions about anybody, they can just tune in, listen to their devices, their mobile phones, their refrigerators, their televisions, turn their cameras on, watch them through the television, all the stuff that they're doing. This is what the smart grid is. And this is being rolled out underneath everything. And we've got so many people distracted on so many issues trying to address the government corruption and all of this stuff. They're not realising that this is all rolling out. And in another 3 or 4 to 5 years, they're just going to wake up and go, what happened? How did I suddenly find myself in this digital prison? Because that's what it is. That's virtually what it is. It's a digital prison, a digital control grid. And if you want to participate in this society, you're going to have to participate in the smart grid. So we need to look at what it is and what it's going to be used for, and realise that the technology that we've got, we could use for our benefit. You know, all of this stuff could be used in completely different ways, in completely different directions. A smart grid could be used to the great benefit of mankind, and it's being presented in that way. But when you look at the people who are running it, the people who are running the world, well, the world's run by criminals, and they're not going to use this in the right way. They have no intention of it. And if you look at some of the white papers they've put out themselves, papers that have been put out by the Pentagon recently that talk about federal vision for future computing and the nanotechnology grand challenge, and they talk about this 15-year plan they've got to roll all this out and eventually hand it all over to AI to control. And when we get to that point, then we've got the entire human experience being controlled by a machine, which will dictate everything according to an economic value and dictate everybody's value according to their economic worth. So this is a very, very bad situation for mankind to be led into under the guise of convenience and making our lives easier. It's really not going to do that at all.
We're going to finish out here in Revelations chapter 14, verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and every kindred and tongue and people. Because the Israelites, the 12 tribes, you Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos, have been scattered abroad to the four winds. Verse 7, saying with a loud voice, Fear Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. Let that soak in. And worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And Babylon, that great city, is America, Babylon the Great, Salakia. Verse 9, and a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and that beast is a system, the image are, you could say that thing could be a sign of worshiping the image. But for the most part, that RFID chip is coming. That is their end game. And that will be the ultimate worshiping of his image. And receiving his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, and this is the point. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Kol halayim la Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the Lamb is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Shalom.
And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission.